Alright, good afternoon guys. Today I'm going to be talking about the tool included in Kali Linux called Hydra, and along with that we're going to be using another tool that's also included called Crunch. And basically what Hydra is a tool that you can use to crack passwords, and Crunch is used to generate lists of numbers or words or characters in general. So let's get started. So the first thing we want to do is open our Firefox, and we're going to be using DVWA again. So that's located on this IP address. We're going to go ahead and log in with the same username and password that we had earlier, 123456. Now for these purposes, of course, as I explained in an earlier video, DVWA has different security levels, and if you want to pause, you can read about them here. Different levels have different security measures, obviously. So for this video, we'll be doing low, just for the practical examples. And unfortunately, I've run across many sites that actually do have low security, or even sites that are reputable that have just places in them that have low security. So this is still valid for some areas, even though it's low. And of course, if it was a high security setting, there would be different ways that you would need to figure out how to get around those filters and different security parameters. So, but anyway, let's begin. So here is the brute force login we have here for DVWA, and we have it on low setting. So let's go ahead and see what happens when we try to log in with something random. I just put ASDF in both of these, and it tells us the username and or password is incorrect. Okay, so we'll need that information. Actually, we'll just start taking a little bit of information here and there that we need. So the incorrect login information will be like whenever we have an incorrect login, these words will show, and that's valuable information for cracking. Username and or password incorrect. Okay, and we're also going to need, up here you can see this information. We're going to need all of that. Okay, now let's go ahead and move this down a little bit. Okay, we're going to need the cookie as well, because usually, you know, it's just a front login form, and you won't need a cookie in order to access the login form. But since we have to log in order to log into this this login form, we need the cookie. So we're gonna open Burp Suite again, which is the tool we used last time to get the cookie. Last time we used DVWA. So next, start Burp. Let's go ahead and boot this up. Excuse me. Okay, proxy options. You can see here that the proxy is running on this IP address, just like the same as last time. Preferences, advanced settings. And I actually already have it typed in here, so don't have to put anything in there. I'll just explain what I have here. This is the IP address, and if we look in Burp, the port is here, 8080, and you put the port right here, and you just make sure it's on manual proxy configuration. Press OK. So we're just going to type in some stuff again. AAA, and I put AAA down here as well. Press login, and now in Burp we should have an intercept. Yep. And we're going to need this right here. Copy. Alright, now I'm going to paste that there. So now we have the cookie, we have the URL, and we have the fail message. So now we're going to need a list of passwords to use, and I decided that for this video, we should make our own, because the other password lists, some of them might be good, but our password 123456 could be at the end of another list, or it could be at the beginning even. But The farther down the list it is, the longer it'll take. So I'm just going to make a list, so that way it'll just be faster. So I'm going to open up a terminal. I'm going to change my current directory to desktop, and I'm going to run this command for crunch, which is crunch. 6 is the minimum amount of characters, since our password is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is assuming that we know the length of the password. If you didn't know the length of the password, your best bet would be to just go start using a dictionary somewhere, so that you got from somewhere. And the maximum password length is 6. So say you were watching someone type in a password, theoretically, obviously this is all for educational purposes, but and you saw them type about 5 to 7 letters or numbers. They were all numbers. Numbers or letters, it doesn't matter, but for this example, numbers. You could do 5, 7, and then the character set would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 0. So this is going to generate, this command would generate a list of only numbers between 5 and 7 characters long. But we just want 6, so we're going to do 6. And it's generating... sorry about that. I forgot to do this. You need to select an output as well, and we'll just call it 6 character nums. 6 character numbers. So this has created a file on my desktop, you can see here, called 6char nums, or 6char nums, whatever. And if we cat that, sorry, you can see it's filled with all these numbers that it's generated. All the way, and it ends with 0 because it goes from left to right on the character set. So it starts with 1 and then 0's at the end here. Anyway, so now we're going to use the information that we've gathered in order to begin cracking this this login form here. And the usernames and passwords in this login form are actually the same ones that we got from the SQL injection that we saw there. So excuse me. So admin is one of them, and I mean, who wouldn't want to go for the admin account, right? So we'll begin by typing Hydra, and I'll just show you guys the kind of information that it gives when you just type it in. Shows you syntax, different options, and what they're for. If you want to pause this and read it, you can. So let's begin. Hydra -L to specify. If we did a capital L, then we could do a list of usernames to try and crack. But we're just going to do a lowercase l because we want to crack the admin account. So that's going to always try the username admin for the login, and then we're going to do a -P because if it was a lowercase p, then it would just try a single password. So if we did that, then it would only try ASDF. But we're going to do a capital P for the word list. So we're going to do, now we need to specify the location, and we're already at the desktop. So 6char nums, and this is where we start putting in the information about the HTTP request. So HTTP -get, oh, got a message. Okay, sorry about that. HTTP-get-form / since this is an HTTP GET request for a form, that's why we put that there. And then we put the IP address or the URL 100/vulnerabilities brute, and then we put a colon here because this is where we start putting the get information, the information after the question mark. So we'll go ahead and minimize that, and this is the get information right here. So that'll be username, and this is where we put equals, and this is where we put the where the program will begin putting the username and password. So we put the caret, or the what you type whenever you're in math, squared or cubed or whatever your up arrow looking character, and then the all caps user and another up arrow, and then we're going to put a ampersand, and then password equals, and then we're gonna do a up arrow, pass, and another up arrow, just like that. And then we've got one more little post information here. This is login equals login. So we'll just type that, and make sure to type in the same case. See, I have a capital L here, capital L. You want to make sure that these are all the same. And basically, what I'm doing here, in these, like I said before, that's where the program will try the different usernames and passwords. So when I put that caret user caret, it'll put this. Or I'm sorry, it'll put this right here, the username that I specified right here. So then the request it'll make will be like username equals admin and password equals, and then it will it'll start trying the passwords in the list that we generated. So the first one will be like 111111, and then it'll do and login equals login, just like that. So that's what that is doing, one at a time. Okay, now that we've got all that in there, we want to specify the fail message. So whenever it fails, what's gonna happen is it's gonna make this request, and it's gonna get the information back from the website, and it's gonna see if it can find this message in it. And if it can find this message, sorry, I have some allergies. I've been coughing a lot recently, but if it can find this message, then that means that we were unable to crack the password with that attempt. So I'll go ahead and type that in there. Username and or password incorrect. Okay, then we put another colon, and then H equals, and this is just specifying we're putting a cookie. And then colon, and then we need to put the cookie in there, which is this right here. And I put a space there after it because in Burp Suite there's a space, and there's a space between all these. So, but I put a space here. Paste, and then close the quotes. So that's everything we need for the HTTP request, and everything should be good to go for beginning cracking. So let's give it a try. Give it some time. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's do this. I forgot to put a couple other parameters in here. We're going to do -T64, and this specifies how many tasks will be running at once. The default is 16. I'll do tag V, and you'll see what I mean here in a second. I'll go ahead and run this. So V is for verbose, which means it'll show what it's attempting. So there we go. So basically, you can see that the child here, the child number caps off at about 64. So it does 64 attempts at a time instead of the 16, which is default. And I only gave this computer, or this virtual machine, let me see, so many CPUs, and the number of children you can have is determined by the CPU number. I only give it one CPU. Okay. Well, I can only do 64 children with this one CPU. So if you add more, you could do more, but I don't. I'm only using one for this virtual machine. So we'll let this run, and you can actually watch the attempts. It's slowly counting up, and eventually this will reach 2. Whoops. It'll be like 1, 2, and then it'll start going, and that's whenever we know we're about to actually crack it, because we know our password is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the time when you go find your McDonald's, pick up a coffee, and relax. But instead, I'm going to sit here and talk to you guys kind of about some concept. So you can see this seems pretty slow. I can get probably 60, maybe trying to kind of estimation, maybe like 200 attempts every second, which isn't very much, obviously. But what these hackers will do is they've got more CPUs. Obviously, they can do much more attempts per second, and they'll create these large networks of infected computers called botnets. And they'll write programs and send them to them, and they'll make them all work on cracking a password at once. So one bot might be working on 1/1000th of a list of 1 million passwords trying to crack into somebody's account, to your account. So in the other 999 bots on this botnet are working on the other parts of it. And say they're each pulling like 1,000 attempts a second. That's 1,000 times 1,000 every single second, which is 1 million. So, I mean, 1 million guesses per second isn't crazy, but there are obviously, like, I mean, not obviously. There's things. I hate to say obviously because it's kind of rude, honestly. But these hackers will have botnets much larger than 1,000 computers at a time. Your computer might be infected. You may not even know it. So it's important. This is kind of the reason why I'm showing you guys these videos, is to help you to wrap your mind around what these hackers are capable of, and kind of why they do what they do and how they do it, so that you guys can better defend yourselves. But anyway, you can see how it would take a hacker with a large amount of computers much less time in order to hack into your account. So, and I'm noticing, oh, there it goes. For some reason it wasn't going to 2 for a while. I think it was just because some of those trials had some other tasks running behind it. So we're at 1217, 1218, 1219, 122. Just waiting on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to come around. Sorry this is taking so long. I wish I would allocate maybe another CPU to my... would have allocated another CPU to my virtual machine here. Might be even faster. But it's coming around. And there it is. So now we have officially cracked the admin account here. The username admin and the password 123456 on this host using an HTTP GET form. So let's close Burp Suite. We obviously don't need it anymore. Excuse me. And let's go to the preferences. Make sure turn off the proxy settings. Okay, and we'll go back into here, refresh, and we'll just try it. We'll just try logging in with that. We'll try admin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Log in. Welcome to the password protected area, admin. So there you have it. We have used online brute force to crack the admin account of DVWA, and that's how it's typically done on a single computer in the hacking world. So like I said before, these guys that are actually out to get your stuff will probably have some kind of a botnet or have some really powerful computers and high network speeds in order to start attacking your accounts. So, and it's important to have strong passwords, especially because if your password is found in a dictionary somewhere, say somebody else has your password, for example, they're using the same password as you, and their account got cracked, and now their password is on the deep web, and somebody stuck it inside of their dictionary and released it to the public. So now I can go and download that list and start guessing away at your passwords until it finds a match. And that's a problem, obviously. So I hope you guys learned some. I hope you will take this into consideration and strengthen your passwords. Make them something not like 12345 or password 123. You know, things like that. Combinations of your birthday and just things that would be easy for somebody to get a hold of, or for somebody to guess, for a computer to guess. Are always bad ideas for passwords. So anyway, hope you guys have a great evening or morning or wherever you're from. And stay safe. Turn on notifications if you want to learn more. Next time I'll be probably showing a little bit more about Crunch, because Crunch is a pretty cool tool, and that you can use for generating all kinds of stuff, combinations, lists, obviously, of just numbers and different characters. So stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys next time.